In this session, we'll try to look at the power of data visualization using Tableau as a software. So whenever we talk about the dashboard should have a very powerful visualization so that people can really see the message of the data, right? What is the data conveying? So that they can make very effective decision. That should be the prime objective of any dashboard. So first, if I have the table in a cross tab kind of a form, right, headings and the data beneath that. So a kind of a a kind of rows and columns kind of rows and two-dimensional kind of stuff, rows and columns. So which we call as a cross tab. Now, how can a data visualization create more and more impact compared to that of a simple cross tabulation of the data? And for that, the most important part is to what extent I understand my data. The more and more I understand it, the more and more I can present it in a much more visually pleasing kind of a manner. And when we are referring to Tableau, it really helps us to understand the data very much automatically. So in Tableau, there is a distinction between a measure and dimension. Two words, probably when we are simply using, okay, if I'm talking about, let's say, sales by country, right? What does that mean? Country here is a dimension, sales is a measure. That is what is the distinction between these two. So generally we represent something like this. The something that is coming after by is a dimension, and what we are actually displaying is a measure. So dimension is something that is describing the data. I should have a clarity on that. It is describing the data, and measures are generally the numbers which we are displaying for each of the different aspects of the dimension. So now when we are getting into the basic creation of the visualization, I should really distinguish something between a plain table versus a graphical representation of the same. To what extent these two are different? Table itself could be a visualization, but graphic is something which is pleasing to the eye very easily. And Tableau, the good thing about this software is its ability to visualize the data graphically and quickly. So we'll just have a table of data and quickly convert it into a graph quite easily. So here we'll take one example where I'll take some data relating to the different countries, right? Out of that data, let's say we'll create a map and we'll use color intensity to really represent the value of corresponding to each of the countries. So that's the kind of stuff that we can bring in as a part of our Tableau representation quite simply. Let's look at it. So for that purpose, I'm using an Excel file, right? Let's say this is my data file, a straightforward data file. Countries are there, the rank, average rank for different dimensions. So the 6 dimensions are being taken: material well-being, health and safety, education well-being. So there is a ranking that is done for all these 6 parameters, and an average rank has been taken and the averages have been compiled like this. So this is a simple data set. Now I want to plot this particular data set in Tableau. right? I want to plot this, I want to show a visual representation. First of all, this data, I want to take it into Tableau, and I really want to create some kind of a map. So for each of these countries, let's say I want to show the intensity associated with the average ranking position. Let's see how simple it is, right? Now, we'll go into Tableau, we'll create a new. We'll go into Tableau and we'll create a new sheet where we create our own dashboard. So I'll go into this file and I'll click on new. So this is the screen that comes out when we have clicked on new. So this is a blank Tableau workbook. So there are a lot of things, we'll discuss about each of them. Now this is a blank. Now I want to copy my Excel data into Tableau. So I go to my Excel spreadsheet. I copy this entire data, Control A, Control C, I copy it. Come to this Tableau and I do a Control V. And I'm pasting it. Now suddenly you could see the whole data got pasted here. Right, the whole data got pasted. You could see all the numbers. By default, there was a sorting that has happened: Austria, Belgium, Canada, etc. So all the values have been picked up as it is. So the data got in this manner. Now here we talk about three major panels in Tableau. The first panel, which is this side. Right, so let me talk about what are there in Tableau. The first panel is actually we call as the data window, the one towards the extreme left. You could see this is called as data. So the data window actually contains the different measures, right? Average position, behavior and risk, education, family, healthy and safety, material well-being, subjective well-being. Then here a few more things, because we have given the country names, the latitude got generated based on the names of the countries. The latitude and the longitude actually got generated, and after that it has done a few quick measures, number of records, the measure values. So there are different kinds of measures here and different kinds of dimension. So I want to have this by country. So the dimension is by country. So a few of them, and these are some of the calculations that are already performed. Number of records, measure values. So some kind of calculations are already performed here. So all these things go as a part of my data window. Then comes what we call as the Tableau view. What is the Tableau view here? This section here and here. This part is my Tableau view. Now what all do I see there? I see the rows. What are there as a part of the rows? Right, we are seeing the country is being shown as a part of the rows. Then what are there as a part of the columns? Columns wise we are seeing the measure names. What are the measure names? Average ranking. These are all the measure names because these are the measures. So the measure names, the columns are being shown. Then the marks. What are the different kinds? Okay, do I need to show the size? Do I need to show the color, text? These are the different kinds of marks. The pages and the filters. So measure names is the filter. I can by default the filters are already applied. The measure names are different filters. If I want, I can show only this. I can show only this, or I can filter by this. So based on the measure names, the filters are already there. Then the third area where this is what is our data that we are having here. This is what we are calling as a shelf, where you drag a measure or a dimension. This is what we are calling as a shelf. Now a quick visualization. Now I have already pasted the data. it is a cross tabulation now, right? A two-dimensional table got created. I'm able to see the data well, but I'm not able to see any kind of a pattern or anything in it. Data is visible, but not the pattern. So now I want to create a quick visualization out of this data, right? So a few more things I would like to give you. Okay, on this I can directly create, but let me, if I say I want to duplicate it, I want to create one more copy of it, right? So here it is named as sheet 1. So what I'll do, I'll rename it. Let's say I'll call it as before, and I duplicate this sheet. So I'm duplicating the sheet by right clicking on it, and this time let me rename it as after. Just like Excel, you can do all these stuff. Now on this after I have duplicated it, on this after, if you see whether it is on before or after, there is a show me tab here, which is getting opened up. This is a key feature in Tableau, right? So there are so many graphs that are visual here. So I can very well choose a map. So this, you see, it's a map visualization out here, right? But yeah, if I quickly say I want to do this map only for this average ranking, so I don't want all these things to be visual. Let's say I want only this average ranking to be visual. What I can do, click on this. Click on this average ranking, and I simply do a right click and say keep only. If I say keep only, then all the other columns are hidden and only this one is shown. So the table is expanded. So if I say keep only this is being selected. Now if I go back, all these are there. I select this and I say keep only. Once I say keep only this column is being shown. And now these are the maps, right? If I go back, you could see there are different kinds of charts that are shown here. You could see these kind of charts. But once I have kept only one column, some charts are grayed out. Some charts are not applicable. So that's one more thing which we can notice out here. So the show me toolkit is changing with respect to the amendment that we have done to the data. So these are the options that are available to us. So I want to click on this maps, right? I want to click on this maps option. So once I have clicked it, you see there is a pointing that has come. United States, okay, the rank is 18. It is shown with a very dark color. Whereas Canada, it is 12. It is shown with a slightly light color. And probably I go towards this different countries. So this is Finland, rank 8, shown with even lighter color. So Spain, rank 8, shown with a similar color, right? Sweden with the rank 5 is shown even more lighter. Now probably I may be, so this is the color intensity. In some cases I may want it completely the reverse. The one that is ranked the least should be shown stronger, and the one that is ranked highest should be shown much lighter. But otherwise what you could see here, the screen has changed like a filled map. Each color is corresponding to the average rank of each of the countries. I can even change the color settings also. Probably what I can simply do here in the marks, I select the colors item and I have the facility to change the colors, right? I can go here, I can change the edit colors. Now the palette wise, there is a lot of automation in this, automatic stuff. We have so many such kinds. Probably let's say I want to change it to red. Okay, I'll change it to red. But at the same time, if I want to change, so by default what it does is the higher is the value, the thicker it is, lower is the value, the lighter is the intensity. Now if I want, I can reverse it. Now when I reverse it, what is happening? The lower is the value, the thicker it is, the higher is the value, the lighter it is. And I really want this kind of a behavior for the ranking. The lesser is the rank, I want a strong intensity to be shown. The higher, as the rank increases, in absolute number, I want it to be shown more and more lighter. So I can reverse the color, right? Lower numeric values are represented with a high intensity and vice versa. Now I can say OK, or I can first apply and I say OK. Now I could see a completely different dimension. United States, which is ranked the least, it is showing much lighter, right? Sweden, which is ranked fifth, is shown with a very dark color. The same goes with which one is even more darker. Italy is shown with 10. Yeah, I have Denmark, which is ranked 7, which is shown with this kind of a color. And we have Switzerland, which is shown with 8. So this is where you could see, depending on the rank, the color is being displayed. Right, the lighter it is, we are seeing it to be having a worse rank. The darker, now here you have Netherlands, which is having the darkest possible color because its rank is 4. Now, that is how we get this graph modified. Now, what is happening in the whole process? If I have to really understand what has gone in, the show me option, first thing, the show me option that was there on my Tableau screen, it is doing some kind of a guesswork. What type of visualizations to choose? So it is doing some kind of a guesswork on what type of visualization tool to be choose for your data based on the types that are there as a part of the data, more suited to your data. So it is actually having some kind of inbuilt intelligent knowledge based system which is helping the tool to do a guesswork and select an appropriate data visualization. And if you look at on the overall scale, there is a story that is being conveyed by the data visualization. The value that we are depicting is corresponded by the color intensity. Whatever the ranking that we wanted to show, we are showing it by the color intensity. So here the ranking, I want it in such a way that the higher is the rank or higher is the number, the lower should be the value and the intensity should be much lighter. So this way we can plan and quickly turn around the charts using Tableau. So we are making the message very clear to the users. We are using the color to convey the message. So the brighter and the more intense the color is, we are saying the better it is. So so we can very well plan out how well we want to display the data to the users, and what we are trying to bring out is Tableau is much comfortable when we have to do these kind of activities. A powerful visualization tool, as we are clearly able to make out from here. Alright. Thanks a lot for listening to this session. Thank you very much.